Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM, and it is the last time we're going to be catching up with Dom Leach, the president of the Ouyen-Rams Cricket Club. But he's a victorious president, the Ouyen-Rams taking out their second Redcliffs cricket title in as many years and doing it in the most stunning of ways against their local rivals, the Tempey Tigers. Dom Leach joins me now. Dom, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, thanks, Alice. Yeah, pretty good. It's been a big weekend and a big few days, but obviously ecstatic that we were able to get the result we were on the weekend.
Stunning stuff indeed, Dom. I was following along on Saturday with all the updates posted on social media. Now, tell us exactly what went down at the Onion Patch, because even though perhaps it shouldn't have been at the Onion Patch, I'll ask you about that later, it was an overly tense game. So bring us up to speed on what went down.
Yeah, it was a tense game. It was one that probably really did live up to the hype. The grand final rematch from 12 months ago, and the local derby as such. It was a very tightly fought game. So we won the toss. The Rams won the toss and elected to bat on what looked to be a reasonable pitch, but it probably didn't quite play as well as it looked. It turned out to be quite tough to bat on. Our boys, we never really got going. We're all out for just 75. Daniel Price and Brad Parsons top scored with 14 each, and it was a bowler's day. Tate Holland 3 for 13, Zach Robertson 4 for 18, and Nick Monaghan 3 for 8 were all key figures for the Tempey boys, and with just 75 on the board, they would have been pretty cock-a-hoop and fared their chances pretty well. So leading into the innings break, it was a tale of not sure whether enough was on the board, but it turned out to be just enough. Tempey in reply met a fired up Alex Morris and the Ouyen-Rams boys, and they were in all sorts of strife, much the way we were when we batted. They slumped to be 7 for 18 at one point, which probably looked as though the game was gone at that point for them, but to their credit, they had some fantastic rearguard action, which took the game pretty deep. From 7 for 18, they ended up taking the score to 61. So they got within 14, and I think the last two batsmen put on 25 or 30 runs. So things got pretty tight there at the end, and I think Joel Grace hit a 6 and brought it to within 14 runs, and it looked as though they might have pulled off a heroic comeback, but not to be. Unfortunately for them, and fortunately for us, Samuel Mead took the all-important wicket, and we were able to get the job done by 14 runs.
So what was the collective view as to why those in the batting order across both teams on the day had the yips, Dom? Was it a case of just the grand final overwhelming a few people, or was it the derby factor, or did anyone have any explanation? The ground, perhaps?
Yeah, so the pitch was quite tough to bat on. Both teams, that was a case of both, obviously. It was quite tough to bat on, and both teams bowl really well. There's a host of fantastic bowlers from both sides, and there was a case of wondering where your next run was going to come from on a tricky wicket with really skillful bowlers tying the batsman down. And the grand final runs are always a little bit tighter too, I suppose. So there's always that element to throw into the mix as well.
All right, we'll leave the serious stuff for a moment. Tell us what the celebrations were like. Did we get the supporter bus down to the ground and then back to Ouyen on the day? And how long did the celebrations last? According to one journalist in town, quite for some days, Dom.
Yeah, look, it was a fantastic array of celebrations we had. We got the supporters there on the bus, and actually got all the players on the supporter bus too. So it was great to have everyone together. We were able to head back to the Ouyen Club, the local establishment there, and they were fantastic to us for the night too. So yeah, we celebrated there and long into the night, and we were able to then have our presentation day on the next day at the club rooms, and celebrations continued there and on to Monday as well. So you don't win them all the time, so it's nice to highlight special efforts when you do get the result go your way.
Most definitely. Well, Dom, just leaving the Ouyen-Rams for a moment, tell us about the B grade final.
Yeah, B grade was pretty tightly contested as well, and once again we saw the runs on the board be enough to build the pressure and get the premiership. Nursery Ridge batted first. They made 6 for 128 off their allotted overs on what was, by all reports, a pretty good pitch. So perhaps they thought it might not have been quite enough, but it proved to be enough. Anshaw, 68 not out of those 128 runs. So he was the only batsman that really got going for the whole day in the B grade. For Kerwa, the best bowlers were T. Baird, 3 for 26, and D. McLean, 2 for 27. And as I said, it was probably par or even slightly below, but Kerwa only managed 110 all out in the last over. So Nath Baird, 20, and Jack Baird, 18, were the only blokes to contribute of any note for Kerwin. Nursery Ridge's Jason Finch, 3 for 18, was the pick of the bowlers. So that was a tightly contested game, and those two teams were probably the standout 1 and 2 all year. So probably went as expected, and congratulations to Nursery Ridge.
Most definitely. Well, Dom, let's just take a look at the grand final scenario. Perhaps, I mean, it's not the biggest deal, if we're going to be honest, and if we're going to apply a professional lens to this, then the way it went is the way that it should have gone. But given that it is country cricket, and we could have just made things a little bit more convenient for everyone, 2 Ouyen sides having to play a grand final out of Ouyen. I mean, logistically, I'm sure it could have been organised to have been played in Ouyen. What were I'm not going to say your thoughts, but what were some of the, I guess, fans' thoughts about this, having to travel out of Ouyen, for both sides? It seems like it could have been arranged in Ouyen pretty easily. Well,
it could have. You're right, Alice. We could have had it in Ouyen. We would have had probably 2 or 3 or 4 times the crowd that were in attendance if it was in Ouyen. There was a lot of supporters from both teams, and there was a fantastic crowd in attendance. And as I said, we could have easily played it in Ouyen. I guess the point is we don't really have an issue with travelling. It's only 45 minutes to an hour up the road for us, and I know the other teams at times don't travel down to play us. They get the travel bug, I suppose you could say, and growing up in the country, we're just used to it. It's just what we do. So that's what we've got to do to play a game of cricket and keep our kids, involved, and that's what we'll do. So yeah, we'd love to play in Ouyen, but yeah, we'll just take it as it comes, and that's the way it rolled. So, yeah.
Is there any use in perhaps looking ahead to the future and putting in some sort of mechanism whereby we've got the best performing team at the end of the season qualifying for its own grand final? Is that something that could be explored in Redcliffe's cricket, in your view? Yeah,
possibly. I think there's a lot of different scenarios we could look at. Cricket is a changing landscape at the moment, and it's met with its own challenges. And yeah, we just got to be proactive, I think, in that department, and keep coming up with different ideas to hopefully entice interest and keep people involved. And if that's one, we'll then be happy to examine it, I think.
Well answered. All right, well, let's switch our focus back to club matters, Dom. We'll get you to talk about the respective winners of awards from both the A and B grade. So we'll start with A grade. Who were the award winners?
Yeah, so the A grade award winners, we had Connor Schultz took out the Kevin Frank club champion, Kevin Frank Healy club champion, which was well deserved by him. He had a fantastic year. I think he made nearly 600 runs, and probably a shout out to him. Grand final week, he was also awarded joint winner of the league best and fairest, the Les Thurlow medal. So it was a great highlight for him on a personal level to achieve that, and then backed it up with receiving the club champion award. Samuel Mead, in his first year back at cricket after about probably 10 years off, he took out the fielding award. Alex Morris took out the bowling award with, I think he averaged 6 or just under. I think by the time at the end of the grand final, where he took 4 for 8, his average was under 6 for the year, which is fantastic effort for a bloke who took 30 odd wickets and opens the bowling every week. And it was the captain Brad Parsons who won the batting average, so it was well shared in the A grade. Yeah.
All right. Well done to all of those individuals there. Dom, tell us about the B grade winners.
Yeah, the B grade winners. We had it was a bit of the Nick Vine show. The captain, he took out a couple of awards, which was a good reward for him. He does a mountain of work around the club. So, big congratulations to him for his personal efforts. Ben Nile was the Lamb of the Year, which goes to our best young player. So, like to highlight Ben's efforts, and he's a future star of the club. So it was great to have him rewarded on the day.
Fantastic, and should certainly echo the contributions made by Nicholas Vine. Does a lot around the club and outside the club as well for the benefit of the club. Well, Dom, before we let you go for the last ever time this season, what does the next few months look like for everyone? Obviously, you're going to be thirsty for that three-peat, but a bit of time to, I guess, just put the feet up, or if you're a football player, I dare say you'll be as busy as ever this coming winter to keep fit for the cricket. So give us a bit of a perspective as to what everyone's going to be getting up to over the next few months.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good chance to put the feet up for a few that don't front up on the footy field. We've got plenty of blokes that do play footy, so for them there really is no rest for the wicked. They still have a practice match this coming Saturday, with round one only a couple of weeks away. So for plenty, it's straight into the footy season and the swing of things there. And for the rest of us, it's probably a good chance to reflect on what was a good year. And we won't stop for too long. Our plans will get going ahead for next season pretty soon, and hopefully we can replicate this year's efforts and do the same again. It'd be great.
Well, Dom Leach, he's the president of the Ouyen-Rams Cricket Club, the successful Ouyen-Rams bagging their second title in as many years. Dom, it's been great fun getting to know you over the course of the summer here on the Flow Friday Sports Show. You've done a fantastic job reporting in every week as the president. Well done to you for all the success the club's achieved this year. We wish you all the best going forward and can't wait to do it all again next season.
No worries. Thanks, Al. It's been great unwrapping cricket each week, and look forward to doing it next time. Thank you.